We'll see how this goes because I've got a baby that's not wanting to go to sleep. But John, I told you that I would do this as a video today. And my friend of mine told me on a run today that I was not aware of. So I didn't have enough time to really put together any full script or whatnot. So I'm just going to read through some of these notes. Rubber is at risk because rubber comes from a very specific source, and that is a tree. One tree, a rubber tree, that has a more complicated name called the Hevea Borealis. I'm not even going to try with that, so we'll call it the rubber tree. So natural rubber was first harvested from this tree in the Amazon jungle, and natives would use it and have used it for a very long time to waterproof things. But in the 19th century, rubber began to become vastly more ubiquitous for things like belts, horses, and mainly, most notably, tires. In the late 1800s, people began to smuggle the seeds of these trees over to Malaysia and created these massive plantations of these rubber trees, which became very, very valuable. Now, Henry Ford, yes, the creator of the Ford vehicle, he saw this vulnerability, and he also saw an opportunity to streamline and control the rubber market for the manufacturing of his cars. So he tried to make his own plantation down in the Amazon, but he planted the trees too close together, among some other things, and caused some monocultural risks, meaning a blight leaf. Now, this blight leaf has spread to be a huge concern because it could very easily wipe out all of the rubber trees around the world. It is uncurable. And right now it seems to be really localized into the Amazon, which is where a huge population, obviously, of the rubber trees. And so there has been a lot of safeguards put in place to try and prevent it from then spreading to the Asian plantations of these rubber trees. And some of the things that are still in place today is they don't allow any sorts of soil to or biological material to travel freely from the Amazon or South America over to Asia. And even any sort of major rubber import-export has to be very closely inspected because that contamination can be within the rubber itself. And some of the rubber products are just outright banned from making that travel over to Asia from South America. So this is a pretty big deal because essentially at any given time, there's a high risk that this blight leaf could spread among the entire latex or rubber tree population and destroy our ability to make rubber. And we don't have any really reliable way to synthetically make rubber. And this is something that a lot of the medical industry, for the purpose of latex, as well as tire companies and rubber manufacturers have looked into, because it's created a huge market vulnerability for them. And tires account for 70% of all rubber use. Rubber is also crucial for packaging and sealing, and obviously it's a mega player in the medical industry to make, latex gloves or just medical devices and medical pieces in general. So if you were to wipe out all natural rubber from planet Earth, it would have unimaginable economic ripple effect, and potentially a ripple effect on the medical industry and therefore, people's ability to get medical care. I'm really interested in this and I want to look into it more, but again, these are just some of the sort of surface level things that I learned about it, and if I come back with more, I'll share. There are a lot of these little domino lines set up among many ways that things could just go terribly wrong, and I feel like because there's so many, you don't hear about all of them all the time. And this is one that I've never heard of, but it makes sense. It's interesting. So rubber is at risk of going extinct. Interesting.